San Diego. Welcome back to Coastlines to Cranes. This is our podcast where we dive into the world of construction, from the sandy shores to the towering cranes and everything in between. I'm your host, Shandon Harbor. Welcome back this morning. We are bringing you stories, insights, and conversations that connect the people in the building industry. And we connect people, our communities, with the coastlines that inspire us. From leadership lessons to industry innovations, this is where construction meets culture, one conversation at a time. And today we have with us a fabulous radio voice, Peter Lasensky from Command Postmates. Welcome, Peter.
Thank you, Shandon. Thank you for having me.
From Command Post, I should say. Yes, I was intrigued with your story. You and I met. We were connected through Matt Abels at ABC National. And he said, you really have to have a conversation with Peter. He's got this amazing product and he's right there local in San Diego, Del Mar, California. So you and I connected and we had this fabulous conversation. I, first of all, was fascinated by your voice. I said, you have to come on our podcast. But even more so, I was fascinated with your story. So tell our listeners about you, about yourself.
Well, thank you. Starting at the beginning, I always had an affinity for building and making things. When I could drive, I started a construction business in Philadelphia, painting and such. Wound up being a union contractor there. And then between the weather and some other challenges, I moved to San Diego and started another construction company.
Philadelphia, San Diego.
Yeah. Yeah. Brilliant blue skies and all the rest that goes with it. And it's also good when you can predict that you can pour concrete and you don't have to worry about rain because it's not going to rain till for 3 months or something.
Amazing.
So that made a big difference in a life quality. And also I found that I had learned kind of how to run a construction company in Philadelphia, but I was able to apply it when I moved here starting over. And I learned from many mistakes I made and lessons I learned back east and started off, hit the ground running here. And then you mentioned something about, stories and then technology. And in my respect here, it really was a bad experience. And I say that pain was the mother of invention in my case.
All the contractors on this podcast are resonating with you.
Well, a lot of them do. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I ask them, when was the last time someone didn't, do something they said they were going to do? It was, that was this morning, So it's a common issue. But I love building. I love, creating things. And back in about the year 2000, I had built a building for a company in Poway. And at the end of the project, I tried to get, paid. And the customer said, well, no one has adjusted the air conditioning system, so I sent someone out for that. And then the next excuse was, well, the partitions are coming loose in the bathroom, and then we took care of that. And then finally I called the bank, and the bank said, well, he took out the loan and refinanced. And at this point we were past our lien rights, and I didn't have a lien right anymore. And I had to sue to get, to try and get the money. Unfortunately, when 2 years later, you're in a room with all these experts there, and he had created a drummed up defense, which was basically alleging all these things that were wrong, that weren't wrong. And it was an extremely frustrating experience. And after 4 days of this arbitration, I was losing, and I knew it. And I was in my truck with my superintendent and holding my phone. I have to get my prop here.
Yeah.
I was holding my phone and I was so frustrated. I'm just shaking my phone like, how can I make sure this never happens again? And I looked at my phone. I said, hey, why don't we use the mobile phone to document what's happening on the job site? And the very next thought is, and since the call goes through a cellular network, there's a timestamp by a third party.
Right.
And I talked to, and my superintendent says, I don't have time to use the bathroom, yet alone go to the trailer and write stuff down, especially when it's busy. And so the next morning I talked to the arbitrator, a local guy here in town, and he looks like Al Pacino, talks like him and acts like him. And he says, I told him my idea, and he says, Peter, that's a great idea. I've been doing dispute resolution for 30 years. And the guys don't write stuff down.
Right.
And even if they
Brilliant.
do, it's written and you can't
Yeah.
read it.
Right.
And I related to that well because I'm not a good speller. So my solution was to make it illegible.
Right.
And I didn't have to, no one knew I couldn't spell. They knew I couldn't write.
Right.
So I went back and the company next door to my office was an engineering company. And I said, hey, I need to do, figure this out. And they gave me an engineer. And then we literally went to the Motorola website and downloaded the software development kit for the Iden phone, the old Nextel phones, and we
Yes.
plugged it in, and we were able to answer a call, and then we put the earpiece into a sound card in a computer, so when the call came in, we answered it, and we recorded it, and transcribed it, and put it into a report.
Wow.
This is 2001.
Right.
And the rest is pretty much history. It's been quite a while now, but our first project with this technology was the San Diego Convention Center, and that was a $250 million remodel expansion by Turner Construction, and they had a major dispute with the contractor on the job. They were able to resolve the issue with non-binding mediation because they had 3 to 5 typewritten pages of everything that occurred blow by blow every day. And their prior procedure was to have one piece of paper that each of the 15 superintendents was supposed to get and write down on there what happened that day,
Sure.
which they didn't, as you can imagine.
Right.
You can't share a piece of paper like that. So it became it became essentially our flagship customer, and then Nextel got involved, and they used that same technology for about 15 years with these sound cards and software development kits, and then I wound up attracting the founders of Nextel that came in and invested in the company, and they wound up taking it public, and it's traded on NASDAQ today.
Amazing.
And then in 2008, I left that company, Pacific Day Division at the time. It's now Anterix, and I started NoteVault. And about that time, the smartphone came out. So instead of making a call, there was an app, and that put us into the next level up. And we sold it to thousands of companies, and they love it. They loved it because it was easier than the alternatives. Our claim to fame is that it's easier than trying to remember to do a note later or to write it down on a piece of drywall or a piece of cardboard or something. And so people would do it because it was easier for the person making the notes.
Exactly.
The office team, they loved it because they didn't have to chase the guys down or force them to do it. They
Right.
did it because it was easier for them. And the result is that I didn't succeed on my claim originally. I lost that. It was about $100,000. I never got paid. But contractors consistently report to us that they're resolving issues in the same way. And it's really a tremendous feeling.
So bring us up to speed on what Command Post does now.
Well, I sold NoteVault in 2020
Right.
to Bentley Systems. And then my non-compete ran out, and customers reached out to me asking me to do it again. And I had all these ideas that we learned over 16 years that I wanted to put into a new version.
Right.
And so we went and built that and released that in January. And we call it Command Post Notes. And I'm really proud of this. This
Wow.
is it's a highly refined application, a great user experience, and the technology behind it is world class.
Excellent. Tell us a little bit about it. I know as contractors that are listening, and being a former contractor myself, I am absolutely tracking everything you're saying about the difficulty in documenting and change orders. And then, people do it and they forget, and following papers around and all this stuff. Talk to us about the new latest and greatest Command Post and Command Post Notes, and how and what that looks like on the job site, and how contractors, if they're interested in wanting to get in touch with you, how can we connect them?
Great. A few things. First of all, the app is like a social media app. It looks like Instagram, right? And it's super simple. We've
Well, that
maintained the
generation will
simplicity.
love this.
Yeah. And you just hit the blue button and you can talk, and the audio is recorded. It's retained. So you don't have to worry about editing Siri that gets it wrong sometimes.
Right.
You have the positive proof about who it was that said it. And so it's very fast and easy. They hit the mic, then they snap photos, just like Snapchat, snap, 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 hold and press and hold to shoot video. And then you can tag these notes to potential change orders, to safety observations, requests for information, anything like that. And then we publish these in daily reports the following day at 9 a.m.
Wow. So you just go to the App Store, download it on the App Store?
Yeah, you can go to either App Store, it's Command Post Notes.
Okay.
What you look up. And the other thing that we did this time is we made it a freemium product, which means it's free to use. And like LinkedIn, right? You can
Right.
use LinkedIn free. And if you want some of the advanced features, you pay.
Interesting.
And we've done the same thing. It's a model that like Slack used. You can use it free, but you get to a point where you want to have corporate control and access to things and be able to turn people on and off. So there are reasons to want to upgrade, but people can use it just the way it is without paying at all.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't catch that the first time that you and I chatted, but it's accessible to everybody free right now through the stores. Then if they want to upgrade, they'll obviously, you can upgrade to the higher levels or whatever.
Yeah. And another quick point on it is
Yeah.
that it's fully, all the admin is fully contained in the app. So you don't have to, before with Notefall, you had to sign up online
Sure.
and then you download the app. But
Right.
now it's all there. You can literally create, an account on your phone and create a note and get a report in a minute or
Right.
so, right then. And we're also preloaded on the JCB phone.
Okay.
It's a rugged phone for construction. The JCB is the second largest equipment manufacturer in the world, and they have a rugged phone, and we're pre-installed on it now too. Mhm.
That's incredible. So I'm counting 4 businesses since you've been sitting here. Let's see, Philadelphia, San Diego, and then a couple of versions in San Diego. So you're quite the entrepreneur, Peter.
Well, I like it.
Yeah.
I guess it's the only thing I know.
Right.
The first time I ever, like when Bentley bought my company, I showed up one day to work at the Bentley office, and I realized that that's the first job I ever had in my life. And I was 62 at the time.
Right.
When I'm like, wow, it's a company I didn't start now. It was a
Interesting experience.
yeah.
You're like, I don't know if this is going to work for a long time, but yeah. One of the last things I want to share to close out this episode is your passion for wanting to help contractors. And I really related to that because as ABC, an association for contractors, that's what we like to do. We help contractors grow their business. We help them with business opportunities, win work, develop their people. Talk to us a little bit about your passion for helping contractors.
Well, that's the best part. I say it's like I like to cook, and one of the reasons I like to cook is people that eat it, they're like, wow, that's so good. And when you build a product like an app and people love it and they get benefit of it, serious benefit, it really feels good. So that's a real driver for me. An example is one of our customers recently had an issue where the construction manager, it was a large project, wanted the contractor to remove and replace the work that was done because they weren't sure about the quality of it and if some of the steps were followed. But our app is so easy to use that the foreman that actually put the work in place videotaped and took photos as they did it, and they put out these reports, and the issue went away in one meeting.
Wow.
It was a $500,000 cost to remove and replace the
Oh
work.
my goodness.
And it also saved the delay that would be incurred by having to rework.
Right.
So and it goes on and on. The list of things, and some of these claims are $50,000, some are up to $20 million that were recovered by customers. Yeah.
Incredible. Before we close, what's CYA on your hat?
It stands for Cover Your Assets.
Oh, right.
That's really what we do. Our app is a CYA app. It captures the truth because people don't always remember things the same way. Sometimes they color the facts or change things to suit their needs, and it's a way that not only protects the company, it protects the person, their work on the job that's doing the report. Right, they're protected as well.
Absolutely. Well, Peter, thank you for joining us this morning. For all of our listeners, this has been great. We've been talking to Peter Lasensky from Command Post. It is on the App Store, so look it up, Command Post Notes. And for those of you who would like to reach out and get in touch with Peter, you can find him through ABC San Diego. And if you liked the podcast, hit subscribe. Give us your comments. We want to hear from you, San Diego. And that's been a wrap. Stay classy, San Diego.